Good afternoon. We're here today at the University of Economics in the heart of Ho Chi Minh City. This afternoon we're going to have a student versus academia debate. Before we start the actual debate, I'd like to introduce all the participants. I'll invite them to introduce themselves.
Hello, my name is Hoang. I'm the second year student of the University of Economics.
Hello everyone. My name is Elvis and I'm currently second year student in University of Economics Ho Chi Minh City.
My name is Hai, and I'm a third year student of the University of Economics Ho Chi Minh City. I'm studying data science in this university. Thank you for your coming.
Hi, my name is Michael. I'm a first year instructor at the American University of Science in Ho Chi Minh City. And
My name is Bob Wenn, and I also work for the University of Science here in Ho Chi Minh City. Welcome, gentlemen. Thank you. We have two topics for discussion. I'm going to present the topics, and I'll invite you gentlemen to select the topic you wish to discuss, and we will select the opposing topic. Okay? The two topics we have are Vietnamese students should study in their home country of Vietnam. The opposing view is that Vietnamese students would benefit more, and there are a lot of advantages of studying in a country outside of Vietnam. Those are the two topics. Gentlemen, I will invite you to choose your topic. Which one do you want to talk about?
I will stick with Vietnamese school.
I will choose Vietnamese students should learn from their home countries in Vietnam.
So I will be at their side. The students, Vietnamese students, should learn in their home country, Vietnam.
so, gentlemen, why should Vietnamese students study in their home country instead of in another country? Can you please give us some good reasons for this?
First of all, the biggest problem is the cost of the study. All the cost of the study only can go up to $100,000. So I believe that is a big problem for Vietnamese.
Does this cost affect all Vietnamese students? Surely there are quite a lot of Vietnamese students who do have enough money to study abroad.
Actually, no. There are a lot of Vietnamese students that they have enough. Their family is, they can give them enough money for them to go abroad and study, and it is a very good opportunity to them. But there are Vietnamese students that can afford those monies, those fees, and they will have a really hard time to get a scholarship for them to go abroad, or if they don't have a scholarship, they will need to pay the 100% of the fee. So I think it is not a really hard.
What about those Vietnamese students who can get a scholarship and who actually have enough money to be able to study abroad? Shouldn't they perhaps study abroad?
They should, but there are some cases. There's some of them, they have the skills, social skills, to go and study abroad. They can live on their own. They can work. They can do the things themselves, because you can't. Or when you go study abroad, it's not like you can go with your family. You can go and having support behind your back. Is not really a good reason.
I'm confused, Mr. Hai.
Oh, okay.
You talked about social skills. Surely,
Yes.
by going to another country and trying to embrace another culture
Yes.
and to fit in with other people, surely that would enhance social skills to a greater degree. Did you not earlier ask me about studying in America? Going to another country? He was asking about scholarships in America. So I'm quite confused by the point you're presenting.
So I think a social skill is that include communication skills, soft skills, and presenting skills that may learn that may learn from their home countries in Vietnam. So for example, in University of Economics or Human Cities, we have a lot of talk shows, many shows about entertainments or is it intelligence that enhance speaking skills and many social skills. So compared to you spend thousands of dollars to learn a foreign university to get social skills with, you can get that in their home universities. Why not?
Do you think that being fluent in English is a very important skill in Vietnam? Does it give people a big advantage? Being fluent in English, being able to communicate in English, do you think that it's a very useful skill for Vietnamese people to have?
It surely is, because when you go to a company and you have a good English skills, you can communicate with the foreigners. And therefore you will have a better chance for.
See, the reason why I ask this question is because you can learn English much more effectively if you live in a country like, for example, America or the United Kingdom, where English is spoken as a native language. What do you think?
It is a good idea. It is a very good point. And but nowadays there are a lot of students. I mean, Vietnamese students. They are not really good in English. I mean, so there are still really they have to base on their mother language, Vietnamese. And if they will go study abroad, it will take a really long time for them to really get to the their fluent English fluency to the point that they can communicate with them.
How long does it take a Vietnamese person, to become fluent in English, do you think?
I mean, I think it depends on their
How long
level.
would it take you, do you think, to become much more fluent in English?
If I try my best, I think it will take 1 to 2 months, I think.
If you were to live in the United Kingdom or America or Canada or another country like this, do you think that it would improve your English a lot in a fairly short period of time?
I think it will. So, yeah.
So is this a good argument for Vietnamese students studying abroad or not?
I think it is.
And what do you two think?
Yes, I do believe that we will improve much more faster in America or in the United Kingdom. But there are too many disadvantages that we have to face in order to get that skill improved.
Can you name any of these disadvantages?
One of the disadvantages is the health problem. A lot of people who naturally grow up in Vietnam have some bad health, such as me. I am not really good at dealing with the cold. So if I move to the UK or America, I will have much more problems dealing with the
What about
illness.
warm clothes
I mean, not
and
always.
heating? These countries have heating to protect people from cold weather.
The electrical bills will be so high.
Just to add to that, I'm not sure if you know, but countries like the UK, Australia, Canada have free healthcare. You don't pay for healthcare, so if you will, surely it would be better to have bad health in a country that provides comprehensive and affordable healthcare than it is to be sick in a country which apparently has a lot of unhealthy people.
I mean, not everyone is like me. We do have we do have some free healthcare, but I believe that the weather in the Western countries will affect me, even though I come to the hospital.
I want to add some points to it. Okay.
Yep.
So I mean, like if you go to a country like America or Canada or the UK, etc., and you have like some health problems, and the weather there affects your health a lot, and what will happen if you have to go to the hospital? Like I mean, a week we have 7 days a week, and I have to go to the hospital about 3 to 4 days a week. It would cost me a lot of time.
You're young. You shouldn't need to go to hospital.
Yeah,
When I was a student, I didn't go to hospital once. Not once.
but not all of us have a good health. Like me, I'm just like you. I barely go to the hospital, but there are students that have really bad health.
Maybe those students who have bad health should stay in Vietnam.
Yeah.
But is that a majority of students who have health problems, do you think, or a minority?
It is not. Maybe it's a minority.
Okay. So what about that majority of students who don't have health problems and who
They-
probably wouldn't need hospital treatment if they were to study abroad?
They might have other health problems like mental problems. I mean, it's not as serious as you have some kind of craziness or something.
How
It's
many
just-
Vietnamese students do you think would suffer from serious homesickness if they lived abroad? What percentage do you think? Any idea?
I think it will be at 10%. 10%.
So a fairly small percentage, you think?
So there are a lot of students going abroad, study abroad. So it will be a really big number. Like it is just 10%. It's just a percentage. But if you multiply it to a number like 500,000, it will be a really large number.
Now we've been talking quite a lot about the health issue. Are there any other issues that we should raise?
Okay, there are a few more issues that we can talk about, like about racism. About racism.
I'm sorry?
Racism.
What is that?
It is kind of the when
A hate for a certain race of people.
To your knowledge, is there racism against Vietnamese people who live in other countries?
Yes, there are.
Yes, so I have witnessed a case in my universities. He is a speaker that's holding a talk show. That's it. He say that's when he abroad in the U.S. and he has a group of class include for peoples, and only he is Vietnamese, and they go to rent a house, and the renter said that you are Vietnamese and you don't rent and you will not rent my house. this is discriminations, and I would like to discuss more about Professor points before that. How long you test the fluent in English, and do you think living in the UK or US you can improve English skill faster? Yes. So I think, in my point of view, I think that it depends on if you live in their home country, you can enhance English skills very much by participating on orientations or talk shows or in the speaking club as well. But if you live in the foreign country, you feel to be shy and you tend to not communicate with native speaker, and you will not try a lot. So I think it depends on attitudes. When you want to improve your English, and when you have a chance, you will catch it. That's the main point, and and the biggest disadvantages that I think when learn from abroad is language barrier. Language barriers. I think when you have a struggle in language, you cannot not know much about the knowledge that are later in the universities and result in a bad score. That's too terrible.
Okay. I'd like to address that. Mr. He, parlez-vous français?
Yes, je parle français un peu.
Pourquoi? In English. Why? Why are you speaking French?
Yeah, so because it's simply that my families have a business about perfumes in French, and I know French is a romantic countries and peaceful as well. So I learn French very much, and I try a lot. And beside that, I can go to the district one who have many French here to communicate to enhance French speaking skills.
I have only one question for you, mon ami.
Yes.
Do you think your French would improve if you stayed here in Vietnam, or would it become much more expansive and better if you moved to France and studied there?
Yes, I think if I have a chance to go to France, it's a better. But the main point is how you create a native environment around you. That's it, the main point. Although around me a lot of people speak Vietnamese, but I will select people. Maybe I limit to contest with Vietnamese people and tend to trust the French, or set up my phone in French language, or listen podcasts, French podcast every day, or watch French in YouTube. Yes.
Now, gentlemen, I think we've been digressing. We were talking about the issue of racism, and then it suddenly changed to another topic, it seems to me. Do you agree with that or not?
Yeah.
Do you feel that we suddenly changed topic?
Yeah.
I think it would be a good idea if we finished with one topic before going on to another topic. So why don't we go back to this issue of racism, or perceived racism? Do you really think that many Vietnamese students would be discriminated against if they were to live in another country? Do you think that it would be quite common?
So back then, I heard that it is quite common, but today, I mean, it has, no, it has decreased a lot. But it's still there, and sometimes when Vietnamese students have to face a case like that, they will be, in really hard. They will have a really hard time, and they will lose their concentration on their studies, working, and etc.
Could it be argued that it would be a character builder, that you could actually become a stronger and better person if you have to deal with a certain amount of discrimination?
It would be based on the students, in my opinion, because if they can surpass the problems, and they can, think of a way to deal with those problems for the future, they can, they can go to they will live really good really well in the abroad.
Okay, so we've been talking about any other issues that are worth talking about, do you think?
So we're not going to talking about the issues. I'm going to
reasons why you
yeah.
think it would be much better for a Vietnamese student to study here in Vietnam instead of another country?
Back to the point of racism, I believe I have some points in that. So back in when the virus was a threat to the world, we are usually seen as the Chinese, and I mean, you have known the Chinese as the one that spread the virus, and because of that, a lot of Americans or a certain amount of people from the Western countries believe that we are Chinese, and they have hate on us. And second of all, because Chinese have a infamous profile about, being bad and making fake products, and doing some bad stuff in the countries and littering, all of that stuff. And some of the Westerners just, think that, oh, all Asians are Chinese and they are bad. And because of that, a lot of them really hate on us.
How many Westerners do you think have those kind of sentiments?
I have seen a lot of YouTube videos talking about that topics, such as two-set violin and about the Daily Show with Trevor Noah. They have talked about that.
I guess when deciding upon a foreign destination to go and study, you could do, a Vietnamese student could do some research and find out beforehand whether the environment would be hostile or friendly. Do you agree with that? There probably are some hostile environments. I think one of you mentioned the particular place in America earlier where he met or she met discrimination. Is that correct? But surely some research would allow a Vietnamese student to find out a place that would be friendly rather than hostile. Do some research about a place before you go there. What do you think? Rather than assume that all foreign places are hostile.
Yeah, I do agree with you on that. But that doesn't clear the fact that there are people who have hate on Vietnamese and Asian in a whole.
Agreed. There are hostile people and hostile places all over the world. I'm sure there are places in Vietnam which might be hostile. Is there prejudice, for example, in Vietnam against people from certain areas at all? If somebody were to come to Ho Chi Minh City from another place in Vietnam, would there be some people who would discriminate against them because of where they come from? Does it happen here, for example?
Yes, there are cases happens here, like the Chinese when they come to Vietnam.
No, I don't mean Chinese people. I mean say somebody from one area in Vietnam. So, for example, where are you from in Vietnam?
I'm originally here.
You're from here, okay.
Yeah.
So if you were to travel to, I don't know, Hanoi, for example, do you think you may experience some discrimination against because you're from Ho Chi Minh City? Is that possible?
it is possible because I have been having a lot of discussions on the internet, like in the Facebook. There are people in the Hanoi. They still hate people in the south parts of Vietnam. They use an old name to call the south people
Yeah,
in
sure.
Vietnam. Like,
So I think we all agree, therefore, that discrimination is something that happens everywhere in the world. There are hostile people
Yes.
everywhere, but there are also lots of friendly places as well. What do you
Yes.
think?
Yes. Like, yeah, I agree. Yes, I agree. And so I want to talk about some advantages when you learn at your home country than you're going abroad. I mean, there are the universities and the schools here. I mean, they are getting better and better. Their quality of the facilities, their teaching materials, things, etc. I mean, the teachers, they are better too. There are some foreigners come from the other countries like the U.S. or the Canada to teaching in this country. I mean, actually, I read an articles, and there, I don't remember which article it is, but they said that there are 4 universities of Vietnam has come to the top 1,000 of the best universities in the world. So I think it is a really good opportunity. It's like we're staying at the hometown, we're having our family supporting, and we can, yeah, we can have good qualities just like studying abroad. Then why not we're studying in here?
Okay, gentlemen, my question is in response to that, and also by way of a roundup. We've been talking for a while, and it seems that the 3 points you're making are the cost, prohibitive. You touched upon health issues, perhaps, and racism. My question to you is, if healthy students were to go to a non-racist country, for example, say Switzerland, on a scholarship, would that be something that might be worth considering?
It would definitely worth this for the students to going abroad.
I think I would have to concede, I think, and I think Bob's the same, that probably going abroad to study would suit some Vietnamese students,
Yes.
but not all.
Yes.
Would you agree with that, Bob?
Yeah.
Yeah. And gentlemen, would you also agree that some students would benefit more from studying here in Vietnam, whereas others would probably benefit from studying abroad?
I totally agree with that.
What do you think?
I think that
You agree? What
Yes.
you?
I'm totally agree with.
Yes, okay.
I agree with that because the type of people who are more outgoing and the people who are willing to explore new things would enjoy study abroad more. But the shy one, the ones that, I mean, is more preferred to the environment in Vietnam would okay with studying in Vietnam.
Yes, so we seem to have an agreement that studying here in Vietnam would suit some students, but not others. Anything to add to that, Bob?
No, we started off from 2 separate points of view, and we've met in the middle. We have reached a consensus, okay, which is what debate is all about. Looking at each other's point of view and moving towards the middle. And I think we all agree. We have a consensus. It's not for everyone, but for a considerable amount of people, it could be a very good option and should not be considered as inappropriate. Any final words, Michael?
Well, I would just like to say that it's been an enjoyable discussion, and I hope you've benefited from it. I hope you feel that this kind of discussion improves your English. Yes or no? Do you think
Yes.
this kind of discussion improves your English?
I really enjoy the discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I would like to discuss more topics with you too.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
yeah.
nice, that's nice to hear.
Yes.
Yeah, I think this the discussions is very interesting and funny, and I learn a lot about from many points of views here, and I think well well to sum up the discussions, I think whether you learn in their home countries or a foreign country, the important points that is used. Yeah, when you have a chance, you have to catch it as possible. Yeah, that's all I learned from today.
First of all, this debate really does improve my speaking skills and debating skills. Second of all, I do decide that I have a conclusion to myself that we should have the education that we are most suited for. About the cause, the characteristic, and many other stuff. Just choose the education that you can afford to do it.
Okay. In conclusion, gentlemen, thank you for your input, your thoughts, and your participation. It's been enlightening, and I'd like to thank you all personally for taking part on behalf of American University of Science. Well done. Thank you.